So Devils, JDog back to answer more goddamn questions. Questions we're going over around the video we left off on yesterday because I only got the one goddamn question. I saw there was a shitload of comments. The what team deserve any hate video. And I only got to one of them. So, and I saw a shitload of more question marks. So I was like, fuck it, we'll just stay on this goddamn video. And the next one I saw in line was Icarian Steel. Didn't Watain kick out the guitar player for doing a Roman salute? If that's true, they cucked out. I don't know anything about it, but uh, yeah, I mean that's total. I don't know. That's kind of a sticky fucking situation. What do you do in that scenario? Personally, I don't give a fuck what people do, so that's my stance. So I wouldn't do nothing about it. However, them being kind of a popular band and more becoming more and more into the spotlight, what do the other guys do to save face? You know what I mean? If it's because at this point it's almost like a business for them. I'm sure they're making money on it. I don't know if they're living off their band, but I'm sure they're making some loot. And if your loot's and fucking in jeopardy because some guy's doing controversial shit, then I mean, do you get rid of them? I don't know. It's kind of like I'd like to say no because I believe in freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, even if I don't agree with it. So my part of me says no, but at the same time, if he was jeopardizing my fucking loot, I can't say that I kind of fucking blame him. And they can fucking maybe make the argument too, or at least I could. But dude, what does this stupid ass fucking Nazi fucking stupidity have to do with goddamn black metal? Nothing whatsoever. Black metal is about fucking Satanism and anti-Christianity. It has nothing to do with stupid ass fucking Nazis and Hitler and shit like that. So it's like bringing that crap in. It's kind of like, didn't fit the bill anyways. So I could see both fucking sides, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I literally don't even know any of the guys' first name in the band. To be completely honest with you. With the spirit of death metal. Hell's Horror. It's incredible you had such lengthy dismissal of racism while wearing an evil incarnate tee. Uh, guess I get the irony now. But again, the thing is me personally, yeah, no, I'm not racist whatsoever, and I'm anti-racism. I've always said that. But if somebody chooses to be, that's their decision. Who am I to say who they're allowed to like, who they're not allowed to like? They're absolutely allowed to not like whoever the fuck they want. I think that's their fucking. I hate to use the word God, but to get my fucking point across, God-given right. You know what I mean? That's their fucking problem. So, and the evil incarnate, sure, well, we're in Blood of the Saints. The whole racism thing, that never, where is there any racism on that? There's none. Don't be wrong. Yes, and some of their other shit, there was questionable parts, and that's the guys themselves, whenever the questionable shit was coming out, it was after the Blood of the Saints disc. So, to me, that I never commuted fucking Blood of the Saints with race at all. I just like, this is an overly demonic fucking record. So I associate that because all this isn't a personality contest for me. If the guys are themselves, I don't look at Evil Incarnate and be like, oh, that racist band. I don't look at it like that. Like, oh, this is that fucking demonic as hell fucking disc. 2 demos on one. Thought it was a full length when I bought it as a kid. It brings back those memories. Oh man, this is evil as fuck. God doesn't fucking care. Best line ever. I was like, that's what comes to my mind. All this other secondary bullshit that I learned years later, that's not what crosses my mind when I see that. When I see Blood of the Saints, it's the old memories as a kid that pops in my mind. And again, who the guys like and don't like, and what fucking breakfast cereal they like, and what toppings they get on their pizza. You may as well care about all that shit. That's the equivalent of you caring who they like in this world and who they don't. It is the exact equivalent to me of you caring what breakfast cereal he eats in the morning and what toppings he gets on his pizza. It is the exact same equivalent. That's how stupid. When people bitch about that shit, that's how much of a weak-minded, pussy boy ass, fucking just pathetic. You have no life, fucking human being you are. That's so everyone you see. Well, where's JDog thinking about all the people bitching about racism and this and that in society? That's what I think about them. You just represent a weak-minded, fucking just you're just a cockroach on this planet that has nothing going on. So you're looking for something to bitch about because your life is that goddamn mundane and boring. I don't worry about what other people are doing. I don't have the time or the mental energy to give a fuck. I give a shit about what this guy's doing and other things that affect my life directly that I control. Outside of that, take a fucking hike and care less. But I do get the irony of it from what you said. Mike Violet, JDog question: what's the scoop on coconut oil? I thought it was used for lube purposes. About as useful as it is, it's a fad diet thing that'll go away and then it'll come back in 10 years or so. All this fad diet shit does, just like all this stuff and exercising and training. It's all fad shit. You know what I mean? Bottom line is, if fucking Arnold didn't do it, you don't need to fucking do it. Because do you have a physique that's as good as his that was in the 70s? Highly fucking unlikely of anyone watching this. So if he wasn't using it, he didn't need it. What the fuck do you need it for then? That's the way I mean. I'm not as cut and dry as that for what I pertain myself, but that's a good general rule of thumb for people. And that's actually coconut oil. That's perfect for the Arnold because they primarily dieted on the ketogenic diet, which is carbs and fats. I mean, proteins and fats, no carbs. And that's the coconut oil. That's what's popular about is ketogenic dieters. But it's a little fun fact for you in general. If you're not on a ketogenic diet, you're pretty much wasting your time taking coconut oil. Other than the fact that you maybe like it for cooking purposes because it's got a high smoke point. Because it's just what it is it's a saturated fat that has a medium chain triglyceride that could be used as energy source without the absence of carbohydrates. But if you're still eating carbs, even if it's low amounts, that source of energy is fucking useless. Your body will always use carbs first for energy. Always. That is the preferred body source of energy. That's just the way it works. It's biologically impossible for your body to do anything else. It only taps into the using these medium chain triglycerides as fuel, as its primary fuel source, is when you're not eating any goddamn carbs. Hence you're in ketosis. So if you're utilizing that and you're purposely putting it on your chicken or whatever because you need an energy source because you cut all your carbs out, okay, that makes sense. I get it. But just these fucking tools that make it sound like it's the greatest thing ever. Like, dude, it cures cancer. It can fucking fly a plane. It's like, no, just call it for what the fuck it is, and that's it. So it's fine. It has its place. I'm not saying it's completely useless, but it's way the fuck overhyped. Put it to you this way: when I diet, I get fucking peeled. I get down to single digit body fat, and I've actually never used it on a diet in my entire life. Just to put it in perspective for you. So you don't need it to get lean. Let's just say that. As a matter of fact, every fucking pro bodybuilder that I know and I've ever talked to, I don't know a single one of them that uses it. Not saying none do. I'm sure there are some here and there. But yeah, I can honestly say I can't think of a single one. There's some evidence for you fucking right there. That it's again, not saying don't use it, but you don't need it. Aaron R asking, listen to Ad Hominem. I may have listened to them, but I remember them. Looked like a band that was never very interesting to me, so I never paid much attention to them. Chab. Shitload of question marks in red. That really sticks out. Hey, Devil Dog, I picked up the Barbados Let's Fucking Die reissue Hells did a while back. I always loved the original cover. Was bummed that it wasn't on the reissue. Wondering what was the reason for that. I think I remember hearing legal reasons for the porn from the porn star question mark. I don't know actually. I that would all be through contact through Chase. It's funny because so Barbados, that's the same guy from Abigail, right? The Yasuki. Is it Yasuki? What are they with the Because I'm thinking maybe Yosuke or Yasuki, however you say his name from Nuclear War Now. Is that the same name though? Main guy from Abigail. I'm pretty sure that's the same dude for Barbados. I know his members, but I'm pretty sure it's the main dude. And I briefly met him at Maryland Death Fest. He came up to our booth at Hell's. He's like, Chase, Chase. I was like, oh, no, I'm Justin. There's Chase. He didn't get, he's like, oh, Chase, Chase. He didn't give a flying rat's ass about me and my ass. But again, prior to doing this channel, nobody ever knew who I was. I was always in the fucking shadows, to be completely honest. Kind of liked it like that, too. They both had their cons and pros. Now that I'm in the public eye, it's there's things about it I like and there's things about it I don't. Let's just say that. But I guess, like everything, you take the good with the bad, right? But it's like he had no idea who the fuck I was, and I don't blame him. I did whatever. But so that's the furthest communication I ever had with him. I've never dealt with him through emails, anything. That was all Chase. So that was Chase set up the release because I mean Chase was always in contact with again I think it's Yasuki Raiders at whatever it is. You guys know, especially all you Abigail Barbados fans. He was in contact with them since the Core Horror Abigail split CD we did, and that was what year was that? Early 2000s, 03, 04, something around there. So ever since then, so that's anything Abigail or Barbados related or anything with it, like Tiger Junkies, he's in that too, with Joel Grind. And my favorite stuff with them, because I'm not a big fan of like Abigail and Barbados and all that stuff, but I'll tell you what I do like Did like the Tiger Junkies disc. Thought that was very enjoyable. But my favorite thing is the Barbados, the Furry Chaos, the one with Grind on it as well. I fucking love that album. It was on Agonia Records. I don't know whatever the fuck happened. It was talked about us doing LPs or picture discs or both like 15 fucking years ago. I don't know. I was approved. Agonia Records said yeah. To my knowledge, Fear and Chaos, isn't that what it's called? But the only one Joel Grind's on. I love that fucking disc. And to my knowledge, to this date, there's no LP of it. If it does, you're like, oh yeah, JDog, it exists. I haven't. Okay, I've never seen it then because I've never. If it came through Hell's, I would have picked up a copy. So that's what I really want to see come out. And I'd mentioned it over the years to Chase and Eric, and I did get an answer. It was kind of a Chief Wiggum answer again, but it was at the same time a Chief Wiggum answer. Again, this is well over 10 years ago when I got the Chief Wiggum answer. It was also, but yeah, we are doing it. So okay, it's taking forever, like lots of other releases do, right? I put in that category. And then obviously years go by and I kind of forget. But just started thinking about it now when you brought up Barbados. That's one I'd like to see come out either on Hell's or maybe nice if it's through Hell's. I mean, shit, we've done other Barbados, as you see, at least the two other LPs for sure that I can remember. Then we did at least a 7-inch. Trying to think what else. Definitely done stuff with a few Abigail splits. So worked with the guy, so I don't see why it'd be out of the realm of possibility by any goddamn means. But why the cover was changed, that I'm not sure. That would be my guess is either the band wanted it changed. Actually, that'd probably be the only reason. To be completely honest, there's no other reason they want either the band wanted it changed or they didn't have the original photo or something, so they couldn't use it. That'd be your two answers because it wouldn't be like Chase, like we're not using this cover. I don't think you'd give a shit. To be completely honest with you. So Teddy Tommy question mark top 5 demos you haven't put out. So you're saying basically my 5 favorite demos that I guess Hell's never put out. So like I said, my favorite demo of all time is probably Centurion of Purest Fire. So would that not count because technically Hell's did do a CDLP? Well, of course, I just said that you didn't put it out, dummy. Yeah, but we didn't originally put it out. That was a reissue. So let's just stick with the question. Let's say anything. My favorite that Hell's never had anything to do with whatsoever putting out. We'll take the Centurion off then. So I've kind of answered this though. This pretty much doesn't change that much. Off the top of my head, Putrefaction, Painful Death, probably the first Massacre demo. I just call it the Death and Hell demo, but I don't think it's officially called that. Let's go with Necrovore demo, the Divius De Mortis. With Agoraphobia, Morbidius Pathology. And these are just off the top of my head too, so there could be shit I'm forgetting over that I would like over others. What's a fifth one? Let's go with the first demo from Devastation, fucking Chicago. Creation of Ripping Death. Let's go with that. I mean, those are definitely 5 that are for sure that I love, and yeah, we didn't put any of those out, so let's go with those. But again, I don't know. It's hard because isn't it considered a demo too? Morbid Angel, Thy Kingdom Come. I always just considered it a 7-inch, but to my knowledge, I think it's actually considered their 88, 87 demo. That's definitely one of my. If that's considered a demo, that's definitely one of my favorite demos of all time. If it's considered just a 7-inch, then it's one of my fucking favorite 7-inches of all time. Put that in there too if it's a fucking demo. Goatman, hey JDog, what do you think about big 300 pounds ripped Lenny? Also, what's the coconut oil rant? Well, I just answered on the goddamn coconut oil. Man, you guys are asking what must have been brought up on this. I don't remember bringing up coconut oil. But big Lenny. I think he's entertaining. I mean, his physique is atrociously fucking bad. It takes fucking effort to get your fucking organs and visceral fats that high to where your subcutaneous fat is low, but your stomach is that fucking distended. Because that's what it for sure is at that point. It's visceral fat, which is the fat inside underneath the muscle in between the organs, which is the worst fucking fat for you, by the way. That is the most unhealthy other than subcutaneous. Subcutaneous is what you can pinch. When you go to the muscle and pinch on top, that's subcutaneous. Um, like his arms are like small for his frame and size, his legs. He's just look, dude, he looks horrible. I mean, he's got probably the ugliest physique of all fucking time. Um, so definitely not a fan of him from physique standpoint whatsoever. But character wise, I mean, obviously I don't agree with what he's into. It's not what I'm into, banging trannies and drinking tranny piss and all that other fucking shit. But I give credit where credit's due. Fuck, he's honest. He's definitely an honest guy and he's entertaining. He's definitely a little off. Like, not, well, obviously he's off, but I mean, off in the sense to where I think I don't know if he would be generally considered low IQ if he does have an IQ test, but he comes off as that. You can tell he's not all there upstairs. Not just in the sense that, oh, he likes weird shit, but also you can just tell he's just somebody. I've never had a conversation, but I've seen interviews with him and shit. Palumbo did a 2-part interview with him a few years ago, and a pretty good interview too. Um, you can just tell he's not all there. So there's that, but entertaining and honest. I'll give him that, and I will say I'm also shocked he's alive. Like how he outlived some of the bodybuilders that are dead, like fucking Sean Roden and fucking Rich Piana and George the Bull and trying to think guys that died at a younger age than him. John Meadows, because I think Lenny, I think he's 50 now, isn't he? I'm almost positive he's 50, 51. And like someone like John Meadows, who was like all health related in the bodybuilding world, he's kind of came up with a lot of the health protocols. When he died, John was definitely not 50. I think John Meadows was either 46 or he was 49 when he died. I know Sean Roden was 46. I know Rich Piano was 46. George the Bull was like 38. But anyways, guys like that, and there's a bunch of others, but specifically those guys. If I had to guess 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I would have been like, oh, my money would all have been on fucking Big Lenny dying before them. So I would have lost that bet. So definitely surprised that he's still alive and that he outlived the guys that I just mentioned. That's very shocking to me, to be honest with you. Rabin Rendon. Definitely a while since I've seen your user ID, brah, at least for fucking answering questions. JDog, have you seen those vids where fans of Slayer inject Slayer into quotes from authors and philosophers to elevate Slayer? I have not. I have no idea what you're talking about. In my mind, I'm like, come off it. They're not that fucking great. Of course, I like some songs, but Slayer never blew me away. I got to slightly disagree with that. I get just as bored listening to Slayer as I do listening to Bathory or Deicide or New Creative. Fuck me dead, dude. You don't like Bathory, you don't like Deicide, you don't like Slayer. Who the fuck do you like? Dear Slayer fans, Pleasure to Kill mops the floor with rain and blood, bitch. Um, I do like Rain and Blood more than I like Pleasure to Kill, but I can see I can see the argument. Like I don't think it's like outlandish for somebody to say that. I don't like as opposed to some people, you're a fucking idiot for saying that. I can see the argument. For me, I mean, Show No Mercy, especially, that's my favorite Slayer record. Show No Mercy to me is one of the greatest metal records ever. It just sounds metal. Everything about it's metal. The guitar solos, the drum sound, the fucking lyrics are satanic. It was way before anyone else was fucking doing it for the most part, other than you had Fate and Venom. But there was no questionable shit like for Black Sabbath or whatever. Oh, are they down with the devil? They're not down with the devil. It was directly fucking down with the devil, just like Slayer and Fate were. But they were another one, but the music sounded drastically different than Slayer and Fate, and it was definitely notches above them as far as speed. And just like I said, it represents because Venom, even then, I mean, I consider it's kind of like in the category somebody be like, is this just like supercharged like Motorhead? It's kind of like D beats. I'm not saying they're not a metal band, but I'm saying Slayer to me is directly when an outside person thinks of metal. Well, I don't know about that. I'm going back years and years. I'd say like maybe the late '80s and shit. What they think, because I think when I was gonna say when the average person thinks of metal, that sound is kind of like, oh yeah, this is about what I was expecting. Even someone that doesn't like it. But now that's probably not the thing. They're probably thinking some goddamn deathcore, fucking new metal, fucking bullshit, which is depressing as fuck to say that that's what the average person thinks that's what represents real goddamn metal. But to me, Show No Mercy, that just screams as metal as it fucking gets. And again, I mean, I bust Carrie's balls on here and shit like that, but that's just all for fun. And even if I am super serious about any of the comments I make, and credit's given what credit's due. Just like Trey Azagoth. I think fucking Ultras of Madness and shit like that just said the Thy Kingdom Come demo. I think that's some of the greatest shit ever. I'm not taking away with what they did. So that gets annoying. Just like when I call out the Tom G's and stuff. So this guy doesn't like Shelter Frost. Like, I never say that, dummy. Okay, I would call out other guys, and I have guys, whether it be Cannibal or whatever, on a certain topic. If it was called out to me, I'd call them out too. I would have no problem doing it if it pertains. If that's my honest opinion on them, call Glenn Benton all the time. I was like, that guy doesn't listen to metal. We're in a Deicide show right now, and you guys know I praise Deicide left, right, up, left, fucking right and center, right? Twice on fucking Sunday, all the fucking time, right? But I call him out. I called him out just as much as I did at Blood Incantation, and I called him out even before there was that interview with the Garza fucking poser. I was like, yeah, Glenn Benton doesn't listen to metal. There's a few people. Oh, I don't know. My buddy Dan Murrow. I think he does. I saw the video. I kind of disagree. I'm like, no, he doesn't, dude. 2 months later, fucking interview comes up. I'm like, people sent it to me. Like, JDog was right again. It's like he says it point blank. I don't listen to metal. I listen to Rush and shit like that. I don't listen to this shit at all. Exact words. So yeah, I was like, of course. But I called that shit out. So I'm not playing fucking favoritism by any means. But yeah. So but Slayer. So Show No Mercy is definitely my favorite. The Hell Awaits. That just sounds like such great. It just sounds dark and demonic, especially for thrash metal, speed metal, whatever category you want to put it in. And then Rain and Blood is just pure energy and aggression. I mean, Angel of Death to me, I could see that being considered the greatest metal song of all time. I'll go on and say it. I'm not saying it's my favorite metal song of all time, but if somebody was to make the argument, what is the greatest metal song? Or if somebody was to say, JDog, for the outsiders, you got to put in stone when you're writing. This is what's going to kind of go look when you Google search it. The greatest metal song in history. What would you put? To be honest with you, I'd come up with a list, but I think Angel of Death would be one that easily pops my mind because there's reasoning behind it. The reason I pull stuff is you can't pull anything from the 2000s. That's fucking stupid. It's got to be something that was super influential, where almost everyone in the metal scene agrees on because they like it. Things that hit all boxes, every fucking box, from the sound, everything, the time frame. So sorry if you put out something in 1998, it doesn't fucking count. You missed the fucking boat, brah. Hell, I wouldn't even say I would even put Deicide in that category because Deicide is a subgenre. It's death metal, so it wouldn't represent all metal. So, trying to think of other tunes, like what would be like another example. I'm kind of having a hard time. That's the first one pops my mind, Angel of Death. And my favorite Slayer song is The Antichrist. It's just what represents metal as a whole. I'm talking about as the fucking industry as a whole, not my biased opinion. I could easily see Angel of Death being one of the fucking arguments. Drawing a blank as to who else I'd put in there. I was trying to think like Venom songs, shit like that. I mean, maybe black metal, the song Black Metal might qualify, but I think Angel of Death would win if I had a vote. Maybe Motorhead, Ace of Spades, something like that. Again, but when I think of Ace of Spades, I like the song. I mean, fucking Angel of Death sends it home on a goddamn stretcher. So yeah, I mean, maybe let's get that topic of conversation going. What would you say is the greatest fucking like metal anthem of all time? Again, don't say something stupid like Deeds of Flesh. Like, no, I'm talking something that represents the entire metal industry, not just one subgenre, not your favorite song. So it's got to be something that's old and original, but that's kind of like if you're going to say greatest death metal anthem of all time, the first song that popped in my mind is Hammer Smash Face. I was like, it's universally known. Everybody knows it. It's the song. If you haven't heard it, it's Take a Fucking Hike. Again, you can't say that about Deeds of Flesh. Again, I like Deeds. I'm so very much so actually. But there's tons of people with death metal all Deeds. Oh, you haven't heard that band. There's gonna be that. So that'd be the first song that would pop into my mind. And not just because it's the pop. I think it's a great fucking song. And Angel Death, I think it is too. I think he just puts it on. I'm like, this is a very. Every time I hear that, I'm like, this is a very, very good fucking song. So that's my fucking pick. Is probably would be that. Yeah, like I said, I would if I had to actually put it in writing, and that was going to be the Google search based on what I came off. I'd put more than just this 2.5 minutes fucking thought process. Go through the collection, everything, do 20, 30 minutes of research to come up with a solid idea. But I think it might be, fucking Angel of Death. Like I said, unless there's something I'm completely forgetting, I'm like, oh no, that definitely takes the fucking takes it as number one place. But I think it could be that. Put yours goddamn in there. Again, don't say something fucking stupid. Don't put in there something by Emperor or, bands that came 20 fucking years later that are a complete subgenre that don't represent the entire metal industry. Like I'm saying, you're gonna say something stupid, just don't put it in there. You look like a fucking 15-year-old newbie. Couch was surge, you know the fucking news well. Put the couch watch, get it in the morning. Later, goddamn it.